Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of A Few Short Minutes, the pod. Today we have Annie Harmon, and Annie and I have known each other for a couple of years. Let me tell you about Annie and why you want to stay tuned for the pod today. Annie Harmon's Productivity to Thrive Bootcamp is a 6-month experience designed to help women business owners reclaim 10 plus hours a week, confidently delegate, and build systems that scale. Since founding Empower Life Changes in 2020, she's helped women shift from chaos to clarity by mastering time, habits, and mindset to lead with focus, peace, and purpose. Annie has 35 plus years of corporate IT C-level experience, as well as helping out over 100 women. Annie, that is a storied past. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Annie, and I have come a long way on my journey since corporate. I've been in business 5 years, and I help transform women's lives through productivity and mastering the combination of masculine and feminine energies so that they can um, really use their intuition and creativity and grow their business so that they love it and really enjoy business instead of the grind of daily existence.
Yeah, and it can definitely be a daily existence grind. Thursday was a 14-hour day for me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?" That's just I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to. That's not healthy on so many levels. And so talk
Mm.
about what life used to look like for you before you had this epiphany of like, "Oh my gosh, it doesn't have to be that way."
I wanted more joy in my life, so I reverse engineered what I wanted. And I wanted a 4-day work week, working 25 to 30 hours. And I wanted to um, really enjoy client work more. So I reverse engineered and I figured out what I needed to do to get those clients. And I figured out my marketing scheme and I wrote SOPs, and I'm in the process of offloading and delegating the work that I don't want to do or feel isn't using my intuition and creativity to a VA. So it's a really good way to grow your business successfully.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Before you decided and that you wanted, just this 25 to 30 hour 4-day work week, which I am on board with. Yes, ma'am. What were your work weeks like? Were you working 70 hours a week? Like what was that beforehand?
I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was working every day of the week to schedule appointments. And I was doing all my marketing myself. I was writing content to be delivered to 3 platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And it was exhausting. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And using AI gets you the ideas, but you can't use it for the depth of the content. That has to be your brain power and your creativity. And that's where the feminine energy comes in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what is one tip that you would like what's the I want you to give some tips throughout our conversation today. So what is one thing that a lot of women don't delegate that they should be delegating to reclaim some of that 10 hours back that you offer?
Well, I read a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Mortell, I believe is the name. And he talks about delegating things quickly. As soon as you have a client, turn around and reinvest so that you can get the little to-dos, the little tasks, the follow-ups going with clients and potential clients so that you can build quickly. And that's the philosophy I'm using.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what was the first thing you delegated?
First thing I delegated was the follow-up messages. I created scripts for each type of message that I wanted to write to a person to follow up and say, hey, would you like to schedule time? And the VA took off with that. And once she learned my voice, my wording, I have a brand book that tells about my tonality, uh, words I do and don't use. And
So I think that's really important. I want to hang out there for a minute if you could,
okay.
because I think that a lot of coaches are under the impression that VAs come in knowing, just knowing what to do and whatever, and hit the ground running, and then like, just take off, right? For your business, your baby. And that doesn't make sense when you really think about it, right? Because you have this person that knows nothing about you, knows nothing about your niche, knows nothing about how you deliver, what your audience looks for, who you are, what your story is. And it's supposed to now post like you on social media or respond to people like that. That's not how that works. That's not where that works. So you developed a brand book that you can hand to your VA, and you said it's the tonality, it's, what else is in there?
My brand colors, my brand strategy, my niche statement, the do's and don'ts, what I don't do, words I don't use, my strategy, things I stand against. Like I stand against the masculine oppression of women. And if something comes up around that, I want to stand up for that. And I want the VA to flag that for me so that I can address it as a potential issue.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely. So you've given guardrails on,
Yes.
on your business. And I think that absolutely. And how much time would you say you invested in training your VA, or spend with your VA, in order to keep this synergy flowing between the two of you?
I have daily 15-minute calls with the VA. It took me up almost 3 months to really get her flowing into what I wanted her to do and how I wanted her to do it, and really having a checklist for her to check off so that I knew she did the work and I could see the progress in my CRM. I use Go High Level, which is top notch.
And
And
if you're looking, yeah, if you want an agency, I do have an agency for Go High Level. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll give you a good deal. I love GHL. Absolutely. I run 3 businesses off of GHL myself. So yeah, absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great platform. Great platform.
it is.
So it took you 3 months ramp up, and then, but you spend also 15 minutes your 4 work days a week with her, just setting the
Yes.
day, and hey, where are we, and what's this, and what's going on, and what questions do you have, and whatever, just that daily check-in, like you would at a team meeting in a corporate office, or, all
Right.
hands or whatever. I'm so blessed to be so far removed out of that right now, but like, I I still get triggered. I still get triggered from the corporate speak. But yeah, so I think it's important. I think the coaches that I've run across in the last couple of years, the ones that are seeking VAs to do the things that they don't want to do have to understand one of two things are going to be true here. If you want somebody that can pick up the ball and go, you're going to pay for that because
Mhm.
that means they are seasoned, they are niched down, they have ample experience in your area, and you're not going to get them at a person you have to train's rate. So either you're going to spend the money or you're going to spend the time. Either way, you're going to invest energy into getting this VA to be effective for your business, correct?
Right. Well, I think even with an experienced VA, there is a ramp up in training that has to happen to make sure that she's talking your language and not someone else's voice.
Yep.
Um, and everything. And they can do a lot. They can do content delivery, not only marketing, scheduling calls for you, but they can do content write-ups once you give them your voice and how you want things and sample mock-ups of emails and content. They can create for you so that all you have to do is go in and add your creativity, and that's a real benefit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some unexpected benefits that you have found to reclaiming this time?
I can rely on my creativity more. It's like once you get into task management and you're in the grind and you don't have time to think and plan and really get into what are your content pillars and what do you want to rotate through because it's new information that's important to your um, email list. So I found that the creativity alone has been my saving grace.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And I think that, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you're doing nothing but task management, the whole 6, 8, 14 hours the other day that I was, sitting behind my, staring at this exact damn screen. Um, Actually, yeah, it just sucks the fun out of you. It is a fun sucker. And so you can't be creative if you have no fun.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. Yeah. What else
Yeah.
was a benefit to reclaiming this time by delegating?
Um, Another benefit was that I gained peace of mind and I gained myself back again. I didn't have the stress. I have hypertension, so my blood pressure went right back down to where it should be. And I wasn't stressed like I was when I was working 60-hour weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because when you are working 60-hour work weeks, and it doesn't matter if you're working for yourself from home, it really doesn't. Or if you're working in a corporate office, the fact is 60 hours is 60 hours. And the fact is you're not taking care of yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You you just can't. When you devote 60 hours to anything but you, yeah, there's not
Everything suffers. Everything suffers.
everything
Your family,
suffer.
your friends, yourself, your peace of mind, all of that suffers.
Yeah, absolutely. My social life has been trash
Zero.
lately. It has. It's been so awful. I expect that a little bit in the summer because it's hot as hell here. I live in Vegas, so today it's 111. But I also, when you put in a 14-hour day, there's no time to people past that. Uh,
Right.
there's no energy, there's no time, there's no, capacity mentally. No. All I want to do at that is just stare at a white wall and like drool after the end of a 14-hour day.
Yeah, that's so true. That is really true.
Absolutely. What are and you I don't know if this is out of your niche or not. I don't know. Let me just ask. What are some benefits to stay-at-home moms to getting VAs and delegating?
Well, delegation to a VA can help you in more than one ways. If you have them keeping your to-do list, they can help you do things and remind you of appointments or remind you of things that you need to do as a mother. Today's laundry day type of thing. They're able to do a lot of that work so that you can offload that from your mind and really focus. When it's kids' time, it's kids' time. When it's husband time, it's husband time. When it's business.
Yeah, I love
So,
that. So it's I talk about a lot about the mental load of motherhood with my
yes.
women in my niche, and because it crushed me, it almost did me in. And so I know the enormous weight that that bears. And I love the idea of somebody remembering to vacuum under the couch because it's been 6 months, or like somebody telling me that versus me going, oh my God, how long has it been? April, March. And then feeling like shit because it's been like 8 months and not six, but I didn't remember. And like, it's just
Yeah.
those little mental checkpoints that women tend to carry, women identifying people tend to carry above, the traditional masculine roles, right? And and I feel like, man, if I had had somebody else to just go, hey, Stacey, in 2 days, it's a vacuum under the couch day. And it's like, oh, got it. Or put it on my calendar so it just blings and like reminds me or something like that. Like, so I don't have to mentally remember all of
Yeah.
that stuff. My goodness.
Yeah, you don't have to carry that load either.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like the doctor's appointments or whatever. Like, I don't have to
Yeah.
remember to make them, but paying somebody to remember to make them, I probably would have. If I had known that that was a thing at the time, like 10 years ago, I probably would have. I probably would
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
Annie,
it's not that expensive.
so talk about your experience and then how that led to your new boot camp.
My experience comes through being certified as a performance coach. And I also had a weight loss and mindset business. And then I went into business coaching. So I meshed that all together and developed the productivity because that is really my corporate background too, is project management and um, finance. And so I mixed that all together and I came up with some research on the feminine cycle. And now I marry that with the masculine so that um, there's a balance to a business for a
Give an
woman.
give an example of that. How you've
Okay,
been able to balance that productivity for a woman now using the feminine and masculine.
okay. Um, During the menstrual cycle of the month, there are certain times, such as the follicular stage, where you really need to spend your time deciding, and you use the masculine energy to develop business operating systems so that you have a repeatable process that you can then hand off. So it's meshing those two systems so that you can develop the productivity without losing your mind at the same time.
Okay, and then what about like the luteal phase? What's a good thing to do during luteal?
Two phase is when you complete things so that you can um, complete webinars, you can complete decisions, you can make big decisions during that time frame, whereas in the menstrual cycle, you don't want to make big decisions because that is a time of rest, journaling, and reflection. That's where you get into your creative side and figure out what direction you want to take your business in the other phases.
Interesting. Very interesting. And does that, and excuse my naivete, but this is the phase of life I'm in. Does that apply to perimenopause and menopausal women whose phases are all fucked up now or non-existent? To be very frank.
Actually, actually it does because it follows the new moon, the waning moon, the waxing moon, and the full moon. And those phases follow right along with the feminine cycle. So you don't have to remember when you're supposed to have your period. You just map out your energies, which I do in my program. And then we map it to the moon cycle and figure out when you should be using your feminine energies to build your business.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So talk about working with you and your program and stuff.
Okay, working with me, there are I help you regain 10 hours a week. There are I review visioning, mindset, habits and rituals, developing business systems, the females syncing and focus. And then we celebrate because there's always got to be a celebration at the end of 6 months to make sure that um, you've achieved everything that you wanted to in the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's celebrations should be happening on a daily basis because being human is very hard. It is very hard.
Yes.
Absolutely. Annie, how
Yeah.
would someone know that they needed you? How would they like with what would they be experiencing in their life that if they're feeling this way, you're like, "Hey, let's chat because I could help you not feel that way."
If they're feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, if they feel like they're falling out of love with their business, that's a big one. Um, and if they um, if they feel like they're wasting a lot of time in their business,
Yeah.
those are the things that I work with them to resolve and clear out and delegate.
They constantly feel like they're fighting fires.
Yes, constantly fighting
Maybe
fires.
just a little bit lately.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best
Oh,
of us,
it
right?
does.
It really, really does.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
Annie, what's another tip or trick that you'd like to leave my audience with?
Come see me.
That's the
You
tip. That's the
can,
trick. Yeah, that is
yeah. Yeah, you can
totally.
reach out at Annie S as in Sam Harmon.com.
And all of
And
that'll be below in the description, you guys.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, everything will be in the description box. Go ahead and click on, I'll have Annie's email and Annie's website, and LinkedIn and all of that good stuff. So if you want to go and have a complimentary chat with Annie, no strings, no hard sales. I've known Annie for years. She genuinely just wants to help people be just be better, feel better, do better, whatever better is for you. She's your girl. She's behind that 100%. And so go check her out. And Annie, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me for today. I hope you had fun.
Oh, I did. Thank you so much, Stacy. You are wonderful.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. So
This has been so fun.
Oh, good, good, good. I'm so glad. All right, you guys, thank you for coming to another episode of A Few Short Minutes, the pod, where I am here to remind you that it takes just a few short minutes a day to actually change your life. And I hope you do. And if you need help, you know where to find us. Take care, and I love you, and I'll see you next time.